Howdy. So today, it's gonna be a fun one. Today we're gonna be doing my review of the DJI OM5 and a comparison between the OM5 and the OM4. So I will say I really enjoy using the OM5 for the kind of YouTube photography and videography that I do. It's really helpful. I really enjoy it, but I will say it's kind of a more there's a very um there's a very I just lost the word not individual, it's very particular for the kind of stuff you're gonna do because it's orientated mostly around smartphone photography and videography, which is fine because it's 2022 and a lot of stuff you can do now with just a simple smartphone, because even a lot of my shots and videos I record on iPhone, which is fine because nowadays a lot of high-end smartphones have cameras in them that are very similar to expensive Canons or Nikons or Sonys, and they have the plus and the benefit of making calls, sending texts, checking your Instagram, playing games, and all that fun stuff. So I feel like as a society, we're all moving towards everything being in one place, one computing device to rule them all kind of deal. And it's, in my opinion, is going to turn out to be the smartphone. So that being said, there are other niches, not necessarily niche. I'm not good with words today. There are other things that require more heavy camera equipment, like obviously filmmakers who use them for movies. They need different types of cameras. They obviously can't make a whole thing on an iPhone. Well, maybe they could. It's 2022, like I said. Who knows? But anyway, so the DJI OMs are very much, they're even labeled smartphone gimbals. So that's just the point I'm trying to make. So if you're a very big, you do everything with high-end cameras, obviously OM isn't for you. But if not, if you're more starting out like I am, or do a lot of smartphone related tasks for photography and videography, the OM is great. Especially I really like, you can't tell because that's another great thing about it. I'm using it fully extended with the extendable arm on it, and you can't even tell that it's there. It's like I have the thing fully extended and it's great. I love it. The old OM can't do that. So yeah, we're just gonna talk about it. For as much of the video as I can, I'm going to actually use the OM5 and also using the DJI software, which I don't like using, which I'll explain why later, but as much of it as I possibly can, we're going to do it that way. So let's get up to the desk and we'll take a look at both of them and kind of do a comparison of the 5 and the 4. So here we have the two side by side. I'm going to take a drink. Hey, if you guys like energy drinks, if you never tried this Alani Nu. It's super cool. It has a lot of caffeine, but it has like no sugars and a bunch of vitamins. I'm trying to drink less pop, and other energy drinks are just bad for you, but I found that through people I work with. So small shout out to that. But anyway, back to the OMs. So this is the 4. No, this is the 4 and this is the 5. I just have them laid out. We're going to kind of go through them, what all they come with, and especially the accessories. So the good thing, they all come with the same stuff. So I don't have 2 of everything. I only have the stuff that's different. So like they both start with the not exciting stuff. They both come with this riser for the magnetic mount. And it even says on the back of it that it's magnetic riser for smaller iPhones. And then it comes with this little other mount. This is a sticky on the back. I think it's just 3M on it. And it's a smaller mount. And it comes with a little tray to center it. And so that you can just put this on the back of your phone so you don't need the big mount. And so it goes on there like that, like the regular mount does. It's kind of neat. I don't use it, especially now that iPhones have MagSafe and that would interfere with it. So I'm a big MagSafe advocate, but for those of you that have other phones that would want to use this, it's cool. And it has a little like safety ring on it so you can hold it. That's cool. They both come with wrist straps. This is the one from the OM4, and this is the one from the 5. It's a lot thicker. It's got the colored logos on it, and it's kind of neat. Like when you pull it down, the strap here, it's like sewn in there instead, so it just slides up and down on one strap. A lot of straps like this, it normally slides up and down both of them, but this one just does the one, so it actually gets physically longer as you pull the strap out. It's kind of neat. And then this one is just a slider that goes up and down both straps. I've never used the wrist straps for either of them, so I just keep them in a Pelican case, or whatever they're called. And so, yeah. But otherwise, they come with the same thing. Magnetic mount, exactly the same from last year, except the front's a little different. This one just says DJI, and this one says OM. The logo's on it. On the 4, it's black. On the 5, it's white. But other than that, they're pretty much the same thing. The 5 one has less stuff on it. On the back of the 4 one, it says the future of possibility, Osmo. And then on the OM5, it just says DJI. Same picture, it's just less words and stuff on it. So that's neat. Set those off to the side for now. And then they come with the exact same tripod for it. Obviously, you can tell this is the 4 because it has much more use out of the end of it. And they're actually a little bit different colors. This is kind of a lighter gray. This is kind of a darker gray. You probably really can't see it on camera. But yeah, and so it's a 3-pod like that. You just open it up like that. I have a little mark on that one, so I know it comes from the 4. Just because I know they're the same, but my OCD, I want to keep the 5 one with the 5 and the 4 one with the 4. So that's just my OCD on it. And then move these to the side for a second. They both come with these little carry bags. This is the one from the 4, one from the 5. The 5 is physically smaller, so the bag's physically smaller. Nothing on the backs of them. And then, yeah, this one just says Osmo, and that one just has DJI on it. So they're neat. I don't really use the bag for my 5 because it goes in that travel pouch, my tech pouch that goes in my bag. So here are the 2 of the DJI gimbals, the Osmo and the OM. So right off the bat, you can tell one is physically smaller than the other. So the 4 is much bigger than the 5, which is a plus for the 5. I like that it's smaller. It's easier to carry around and put in bags and stuff. And then the arms are different as well. The way they fold, this one, it's a front fold. So you just fold it over and it sits on the front with the magnetic mount facing out. Just flip it up like that and you're ready to go. Whereas the 5, I flip it around like this just because it keeps a small form factor. You don't have to, but it's kind of more of a twist and then flip out. So it's all personal preference, how you wish to do it. The arms are different sizes too. The arm on the 5 is a lot smaller than the arm on the 4. It's really hard to tell from these angles with the 2 of them, but that's kind of the difference. And then, yeah, this is the 4. It's just simple. It's a lot bigger. It's got the trigger back here to control the arms, the joystick, the zoom slider here, the record, and the power/function button of the Osmo. So, I mean, it still feels good. It's nice. It's like, you know, it's going to not break if you drop it. And then little cover right here for the USB port. And then the USB-C port to charge it is right there. And then the 5, which the one thing the 5 does not have that the 4 has is the 4 has that USB port on it. The 5 does not. All it has is just the USB-C port to charge. And so, but yeah, the 5 has all the same buttons. They moved the power button on the side. So the power button's right here on the volume slider instead of right here in the function slider. So that's a difference between the 2 of them. On the 4, the function button, like to flip the orientation and to change all that stuff, is shared with the power button on the 4. And on the 5, it's its own separate button right under the record button. The power's on this side. Yeah. DJI logos right there. There is the threads for the tripod. And on the 4, it tells you the thread size. So that's kind of neat. They're the same, so they're both 1/4x20, but it's nice that the 4 actually tells you that's what you use. Then yeah. And then the one thing that the 5 has over the 4 that I think is kind of what sets it apart is the actual extendable arm, which is super neat. It's kind of like that's a 2016 maybe, like with selfie sticks. They're not really that big of a thing anymore, but say what you will about them, it's useful. So yeah, those are the main differences between the two, but yeah. Overall, I mean, I like them both. Let me say that. I do like them both. The 4 has served its purpose for me, which I have plans to use both of them. So, but what I will say, battery life, now this could just be me not using them as much as the average person would, but I've had this thing for over a year. I've never had to charge it. So maybe that's just a testament to how little I use it, or maybe that's just a testament to how great the battery life is. Either way, I haven't had to charge either of them yet, so there's that for it. But overall, the 5 is what I carry now. The 5 is what goes in my bag. And the 5, I think, is one of the best smartphone gimbals that there is out there. Maybe weird that I'm on the floor, but I wanted to get different angles. And there's only so many angles you can do when you're in like a small bedroom. But overall, like I said, I really like the Osmos 5. It's sitting on the floor right now with the arm fully extended, filming this. So I like it. It's versatile. Has way more, like a bigger view of range, maybe. I don't know the right term, but it's like I found more ways to use the Osmos 5 than I was able to use the 4. Just because it's smaller, it fits in smaller spaces, it has the arm, so it can actually be like a mini tripod, which I really like. The thing I don't like about using the Osmos 5 is that I actually like the app. Now, I know the app is great, and you can do all like the face tracking and the gesture controls and all that with the app. Personally, I don't like that I have to use a separate app with my iPhone that I'm recording with, because they take so much time with the actual software behind like the iOS software with the cameras and all that. So I don't like having to take away from that to use the DJI app. Now, I know that DJI tries to use pretty much all of the features that are in the iPhone on the app, but they don't take things of like the cinematic mode that's on there or the Pro RAW that's on there. They can't take advantage of that, which is kind of a thing that I feel like it's missing out on. And then when you go over just use the stock camera app on your iPhone, you can't use like the gestures or the face tracking and all that that's in the DJI app. So if there's a way that maybe like they could merge it all together, that'd be stupendous. But that's my only complaint, and that's not really surprising, because I've never liked having to use third-party apps for anything when it comes to using my tech. I like the full experience. Like, the company made this, do it that way. Like, I hate to say I'm like sheep, but it's like I'm not one to veer away too much on it. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's kind of sounding like just a bunch of words, but I hope you kind of get my drift. But other than that, I love the Osmos 5. I'm going to use it a lot. I don't want to say it's going to take my video game to a different level, because that's not really how it works. It's just a skill that you build. It's going to be one of my favorite tools in my arsenal, we'll put it that way. But yeah, that's been my thoughts on the DJI OM5. I will leave a link in the description so that you guys can pick up an OM5 of your own if you wish. So just be sure to give the channel a like and a subscribe, comment. I try to answer all of them. So, because I like to communicate with you guys. And yeah, that's all I got. Hope you are staying safe out there. Peace out.